Hey guys, today we're gonna see some techniques of coloring that I just recently found out about. So these are blank leaves and acorns, and these are some ones that I did earlier. So you have dead leaves, you have leaves that are colored like the sun, orange, you got yellow, you have red and green. And then the acorns have a little bit of shading. There's a lot of techniques involved in this video. So, yeah. So I'm going to start with a yellow leaf. You guys can start with whatever color you like, whether it be red, orange, maybe even blue. So I have Cajun Craze, Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry, and Early Espresso here. But you guys can use whatever yellow and brown colors you like. So I am just going to very lightly shade this leaf right here using Daffodil Delight. So this only takes a second. So after you've done that, we are going to use crushed curry or whatever darker yellow you have, and we're just going to very lightly make a trim around the edges. Don't make it too wide, but don't make it too thin either. So you want to make it like, I'd say, I do not know how wide this is, but I'd say about like a half a centimeter would be fine. That's my estimate. So you want to make sure you emphasize on the curves right here, because the curves are where most of the frayed parts of the leaves are going to be. So you're just going to continue doing that all along and keep going until you reach the next leaf or whatever you have and stop, and then you go right out through. And you go right there. And now just you lay over everything with your Daffodil Delight. And then you end up having a frayed leaf. As you can see here. See, the edges right here are a darker shade of yellow, but in the center is like a more vibrant shade of yellow. So it's just like this one, or like this one that I did earlier. And then next we're gonna do the acorns. And by the way, you can use this technique for any leaf that you want to. So we're going to do the acorns now. So this is what the brown is for. I have Early Espresso. You can choose whatever brown you'd like. So make sure you emphasize on the broken part of the stem where it leads off. And you want to color it a dark shade of brown, but not too dark. And then once you have stem, then you can turn and do the caps. But when you do the caps, you don't want them to look the same shade as the stem, so you do just a little bit darker. So you do a little bit of overlay, and that gives you like a vibrant outer shell, and then it gives you a darker inside. Now, if you want, you can add little bits of green every so often, but too much isn't good. So you just want to keep it nice and simple and light. And now for the body of the acorn, I'm still going to use early espresso, but I'm also going to use Cajun craze. So go around the edges with early espresso, not pressing very hard. If you move your hand up the pencil towards the back, then you can use it to your advantage and color lighter. Because if you hold it up here at the top, you have more leverage and you can color harder. So I would hold it more in the middle for this part. And then just keep following the lines of the acorn. Just keep going, until you reach like a circular shape. Until you reach a circular shape in the middle of the acorn. Then you can do this diagonally. I like to do the diagonal cross hatching, which is basically just going like this or like this, and going in the opposite direction like this, so it almost makes an X. I like to do cross hatching, scumbling. Stippling won't work here, but it's still good for like rain or texture. And now you can make a chlorophyll leaf by just going around like doing this. But you gotta be careful not to go outside the lines if you want to keep it in a strip like this or put it on a card. You just want to be careful not to go outside the lines. And you just keep going. It's okay if a little color from the other leaf that you colored in goes into the next leaf. You can always just go back over it and cover it up. So I just used garden green, and now I'm going to use old olive. So I'm going to use old olive for the frayed edges, because it's a darker shade than green garden. So I'm just going to go around very lightly and just make an edge. So this is basically the same of what I did with the yellow leaf. I'm just trying to like make different colors and try new things. So my next experiment will be like with a blue leaf, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but during the fall some leaves can turn blue because they have the chlorophyll, but they just can't get it to the outer edges of the leaf and into the veins. So some leaves can end up turning out blue or purple, maybe even, I don't know, like pink. That might be a possibility. Who knows? So I'm just going to go over like an edge of the acorn with Cajun craze, because this is a very strong color. It gives a very strong accent and edge. So I just did like an edge like right here, so I might like do a thinner one right here. I just going around the edges, and then gonna do the cross hatching method again. Cross hatching is usually what you would use for coloring in like bigger surfaces. But if you want like really big surfaces, if this was just blank, then you could use scumbling, which is just a form of going back and forth, circular marks, just like this. So just add a little bit, and there's your acorns. Now experiment with colors and try to get them like just right to what you want. You don't always have to do the frayed edges. As you can see with this one, I made a sort of like a dead leaf almost. Yeah, this brown one right here. I made sort of a dead leaf, but it also has traces of red and green in it. So it makes a really cool effect. So thanks for watching, and you can make some really cool things with these and impress your friends. So see you next time. Thanks for watching.